What's going on, YouTube? Q back here again with another video for you. Today's video, been with the Integra for about a month or two, so now it's time to point out the things that I hate about the Integra. And I say hate like this because, disclaimer, every one of these videos, I don't hate the car. When I bought the car, just gotta throw that out there because somebody in the comments always gets sand in their man parts. But this video is gonna be what I hate about the Integra. And that might include some minor annoyances, a couple bugs that I noticed in the car, or just things that's quirky in general. So I don't hate the car, but this is what I found that I hate the most about the car in my 3,200 miles of ownership so far. So about to dive into those in just a second here. And before I do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, browse the channel. Let's jump into it. So I got a list of a few things that I hate about the Integra, and the first thing that I'm about to talk about is something that you will probably only notice once or twice because it's in the option setting. And with options in these cars, the customization, once you set them up, you tend to not go back and mess with them once you set them. They're like set and forget. But this one I noticed with the rear view camera, I used to specialize in that at a job that I used to work at in the past. So rear view camera is kind of my thing, but in this case, it's with the guidelines, and I'll show you all what I'm talking about right here. It shouldn't have gone into production that way. Can be fixed with a software update over the air, but here we go right here. Part Mary J. Blige. So this one quirk that I did notice, so it's in the options menu, and let me get to the settings, general settings, camera. Then we can go to rear camera. So we got the fixed guideline and the dynamic guideline. So let me show you all what the difference is. So let me put the car in reverse. So these are the guidelines. The yellow dynamic is when you turn the steering wheel, the lines turn with the car. So you can kind of tell the path or the trajectory where the car is going to go. So with this little quirk we got here, you can turn the fixed guideline off. So now let me go into reverse. So the fixed guideline is off, but dynamic is on. So no guidelines, that's what we want. But if you turn the steering wheel, the lines pop up. So I think that's weird. So I would think if you turn the fixed guidelines off, that the dynamic guideline should be off as well. And if you do the opposite, turn the dynamic guidelines off, you should just get these guidelines that don't move as you change the steering wheel, which that's what it's doing. But I find it odd that you can turn one off and the other one on, and it's kind of weird that, I don't know, it just looks bad. But I'm in this line of profession where I did infotainment for like a decade, and I used to find things like this and integrate certain features to see if it actually makes sense. This definitely doesn't make sense, and that's a weird thing. I'm surprised that they actually allow. If fixed guideline is off, it makes more sense to turn dynamic guideline off. So the second thing that I hate about the Integra is I can't turn off the headlights, the daytime running lights. So especially if it's dark outside, you just can't turn the lights off unless the emergency brake on. So if you're doing things like going to a drive-in theater, sneaking away from your sneaky link's house, about to commence in a drive-by, you gotta have your lights on unless you're sitting there with the parking brake on, and that's no good because if you're trying to get away, then you gotta sit there. So it would be easier with a handbrake. Save the handbrakes too. But we got electric handbrake in here, so you cannot turn it off. Not that I've noticed. If you know how to, let me know, because I'm struggling with it, trying to pull away from places. Got my headlights on bright. These things are bright too. So just leaving your mom's house before the sun comes up, and you see my lights are on. But I don't want my lights on right now because I'm trying to sneak away. So the only way that I've seen to get the lights to turn off, so now I got the parking brake on, but that's going to tell to the future. So watch this as I turn the switch off. Make sure I get everything in frame. My lights do not turn off. That's flicking it in the off position. And let's see what happens if I turn them on. The parking lights will turn on. As you can see, it goes from headlights to parking lights, which are probably just my fogs or LEDs. And there's the headlights. But if I go back to turn it off, they won't turn off. So the lights will only turn off. So let me engage the parking brake. And now I can flick the lights off. That is so weird. I'm trying to get out of here before your dad get home, and I can't do that because I can't sneak away. Yeah, I just can't turn them off. So that's number 2. So the third thing I hate about my Integra, this practical thing right here. So I'm about to talk about this lift back right here. So we got this thing. It's practicality. Still haven't taken Blueprint his gifts yet. But with this lift back, there's no button on the inside of the car to make this thing pop up. And looking at the key as well, there is no button to just press and make it pop open. Although there is a button on here with the trunk on there, but that doesn't open the trunk. So what does that do, one might ask? That locks and unlocks the lift back. So let me lock the car and press the button on the trunk. Did anything happen? So the trunk is unlocked, and the rest of the car should still be locked as it is. So it only unlocks it. It would be very convenient if this opened the trunk like this. So I got flexed on when I was donating some clothes. Got flexed on by a BMW, what was it, a X4 or X3? Like there, the lady just got out the car. Hers opened up automatically. Press one button, close. Like there's no interior button in here to open the trunk. There's no trunk release. Poverty spec right there. But yeah, there's no trunk release. Not on the key, not inside the car. And back here on the actual lift gate, we do get a button to lock and unlock the truck. Not sure what the thing is about lock and unlock on these lift backs, but this opens it, this locks and unlocks it. But you cannot lift it up automatically, and we got to close it ourselves. The next thing that I hate about my Integra, and I noticed this after I washed my car, well, the only time I ever washed this car myself. So as I wash the car, I tend to leave my wipers up. So let me demonstrate this one. Wiper number 1 up, wiper number 2. So this is what's about to happen. Scared the bejesus out of me, because I was about to just drive off and I just heard a loud noise. I'm like, uh-oh. So let me show y'all what I'm talking about. So inside the car, you can see my wipers are still up. So once I turned on the car, oh my God, only one of them did at that time. So that thing smacks the windshield with great force, and it is very loud. Scared the bejesus out of me, dog. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not sure why the other one didn't smack the windshield. Let's see. I don't know, that's weird. Only one of them did it. See, there go another quirk. They both didn't do it. Got some inconsistencies here. The next thing on the list, I think this might be number 5 or 6. I'm not even gonna mention the rear seats not having vents. I don't sit back there. My kids don't know that they can have rear seats back there or the vents back there. Didn't have it in the Camaro, so they don't really mind it. But actually, it's another real bug. Now this one definitely is gonna need some updates from Acura, and I hope they watch this far. I should probably put this in the front of the video, but the radio, man, I drove it on the trip to Florida, and even before then I noticed this problem like 3 to 4 times, but on my road trip to Florida 12 times probably this happened. So, and I'll show a video, but to summarize it, the radio, the music will be on one song, but in the cluster it doesn't update over there, and along with that it doesn't update the GPS, so it'll stay on the same maneuver sometimes for a while, and the only way you can get it to update to what's current, and as far as the GPS maneuvers and the music in the cluster and on the heads-up display, you got to turn the car off. And that's on the road trip. I'm not about to just pull over just to get the GPS and the radio to show the right stuff. Like it's not a huge concern. Like that's just a big inconvenience right there. Like they need some kind of program to where it just looks at the cluster, looks at the radio to say, hey, we're not matching, reset or update. That's not that hard to do. But yeah, that's a problem. So I didn't know where I was at. I'm looking at the maneuvers like, dang, I've been at like 120 something miles for the longest. Then I look over at the screen, it's different than what's showing up on the heads up display. So, and this happened like 12 times, like honestly. So I'm disconnecting my phone while I'm driving, unplugging it, like checking my cables, and it's not the cable. And sometimes when it freezes, it's also another issue, similar but different. Like it'll just kick you out of Apple CarPlay. I don't know if it'll do that in like Android Auto or with Bluetooth, but I keep it connected by USB because that's the most reliable, get the best audio quality. And it just resets. It'll just kick you out the screen. So when it does that, like you can't hear your turn by turn. So I'm like out here lost, like what's going on? So I'm fumbling, so I'm trying to drive. Like it's a safety concern too, so that's an issue they need to fix. The information on the radio don't match what's in the cluster, so it just freezes. So right there you see I'm listening to Pop Smoke. That's what I'm actually listening to. But over here it's showing Jagged Edge, my R&B. I listened to that song a couple songs ago. I'm listening to Alicia Keys right now. But on the cluster,
in 2 miles, continue onto I-75 south toward Richmond.
It's showing the song that I already listened to. It's going to be stuck there. You can see the GPS. I got 164 miles to go to my next maneuver. When that happens, up on the heads-up display, it's no longer updated anymore. So it's telling me 12.3 miles. So the navigation up there is frozen. The speedometer still is updating, but the navigation is broken. And I got like 6 hours to go, or probably 4 hours till I need gas, and it's gonna just be like that for the next 4 hours unless I pull over, turn the car off, and turn it back on. That sucks because it shouldn't, like it should be updated, or if it realizes that it's frozen, it should force itself to restart, force close if you will, and reopen. So last but certainly not the least, and I don't know if this is more annoying than the radio cluster issue that I got going on, but these parking sensors, my God, they are loud, annoying, and sometimes you can't cancel them. They're just blaring, and they come on if you're not even moving. You can just sit there. Like as soon as I turn on the car in my garage, beep, it's on the cluster, it's on the radio, and sometimes it says you can cancel it by pressing a button on the steering wheel, but that button isn't always there, especially if you have another notification. Like right now I need gas. It's too many notifications, so I can't always cancel the parking sensor noise. So that's a problem, and I'll show you all now. In front of your mom's garage. Let me start her up. Let me in so the neighbors won't know. As soon as I do, it's like, all right, turn that off. Press it on the steering wheel. So that time it did work, but my fuel light is going to come on soon. It's like once that comes on, it doesn't know which one to go to at first, and all the time I can't defeat it. So this one is intermittent on how it is. So let's see if I did it again. And that's also not in gear, not moving. As soon as I turn the car on, that's going to happen. It won't happen if the e-brake is on. I don't know why so many features are disabled once the e-brake is on, but before the screen even turned on, it's like, man, I'm not even moving. I'm just sitting here. But it's like that. So if you're just sitting in the parking lot, pulled up to a spot, and if you're just sitting there and the car's in front of you, it's just going to do this until you turn on the e-brake. I'm not a big fan of putting on the e-brake like that. Like I rarely ever do it. I just leave the car in gear. So even if you turn it on in gear, it's going to do that. See again. Let me open and close the door so we can do a different type of reset. I wonder if it'll do it if I'm unbuckled. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on doing it. Alright, not in gear now. Alright, now I'm pressing the button and it's not turning it off. It's like, shut up, dog. Alright, now my gas is low. Alright, Oops. Fuel low. Okay, there we go. So you see what I'm talking about right here. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything I hate about my 2023 Acura Integra. Still a phenomenal car, but like I said, these aren't things that I hate. They're more like annoyances, bugs. But that radio and those parking sensors, they need work. A little bit on the infotainment cleanup, but those are easy fixes. But definitely that radio, that can be like a big deal. That's a safety concern if you got to fumble around with a phone while you're driving. So Acura, if you're listening, send us an update, man. Over there, we got the telematics to do so. So hopefully that's sent out soon. I'll update you all if any of this stuff changes. Send out an updated list later on. But other than that, love the car. These are the only things that I have noticed. Everything else works beautifully. Like, everything else works seamlessly. But infotainment across the board, and most manufacturers, they all have issues. Hope you all enjoyed today's upload. Got a bunch of new subscribers to the channel. Welcome aboard. Go check my rack sheet in the back, man. Like, go check out my past videos. Have some other cars on the channel too. I'm generally unbiased about cars, so I try to be as open and honest as possible because I don't get paid for owning these cars. I got no sponsorship in here, no horse in this race. So I just want to let you all know to make an informed decision. Because some people, some of these things can be a deal breaker. So yeah, let me know what you hate about your Integra. Are these deal breakers to you? Any minor annoyances? Let me know what you think about these cars. And with that, I'm Q, checking out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, browse the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.